Surprise! The airlines are at it again, changing the rules, tweaking policies, and throwing in random new restrictions just to keep us on our toes. So, if you thought flying couldn't get any more confusing, think again. Whether it's baggage chaos, boarding mayhem, or new security protocols that make you second-guess your entire life choices, I've got the latest airline rule changes you really need to know before you fly. But don't panic just yet. I'm also sharing some game-changing tips and tricks that'll save you from the headache and make sure you don't get caught off guard. Stick around because the best hack is coming up at the end, and trust me, you'll want to know this one. Number 1. No more carry-on power banks, kind of. Let's start with one of the biggest surprises that could literally stop your flight before it even takes off. Power banks. We all love those little lifesavers, right? That moment when your phone's about to die and you're 30,000 feet up with no outlet in sight. Enter the power bank, saving the day. But here's the kicker. Some airlines have decided to go full-on helicopter parent on us. Korean Air and Asiana have announced that your power bank must stay with you at your seat during the flight. And no, you can't sneak it into your overhead bin. No more power banks in the overhead compartment, people. These things are now on a one-on-one basis with your lap. But here's where it gets even weirder. EVA Air is taking things a step further and is banning the use and charging of power banks during the flight. That's right, folks. No more mid-flight phone charging. Why? Because of something called thermal runaway, which sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie but is actually a very real safety concern. Long story short, these things can overheat and catch fire. Not exactly the kind of in-flight entertainment I had in mind. So, your best bet is to charge your devices before you board, and if you're flying with WestJet, take note of their carry-on size update so you don't get confused by any new restrictions while trying to figure out what to do with your extra gadget gear. Tip: always charge your devices before you fly, and for the love of all things tech, don't leave your power bank in your bag. It might just end up being the most expensive carry-on you've ever had, and not in a good way. Number 2. Smaller carry-ons for WestJet flyers. All right, WestJet travelers, grab your measuring tape because things are getting a little tighter. As of May 6th, WestJet is making their carry-on size smaller. We're talking 22 by 14 by 9 inches. That's about 56 by 36 by 22 centimeters, including handles and wheels. So, if your bag is just a smidge too big, you might be looking at a nice little surprise at the gate. But honestly, this change could be a blessing in disguise. Here's why. By making this adjustment, more bags will actually fit the size requirements, which means you won't be playing the "does my carry-on fit" guessing game at the counter. You know, that awkward moment when you try to shove your bag into the tiny gate check bin, only to have the gate agent laugh and say, "Nope, that's a check-in item." Now, here's where it gets interesting. If you've been stressing about whether your current bag will fit the new size, don't panic. There's a free carry-on database that can tell you if your bag passes the test for over 70 airlines. No email sign-up, no gimmicks. Just a handy tool to save you from that last-minute panic attack when you're already standing at the gate. Pro tip: not sure if your bag fits? Look it up before you're in the pressure cooker. Because nothing says bad travel day like having to scramble to check a bag because your carry-on is just a hair too big. And trust me, no one wants that kind of stress before boarding. 3. American Airlines' new boarding process. Spoiler, it's going to be less crazy. All right, folks, grab your boarding passes and take a deep breath. American Airlines is making a small but mighty change to their boarding process. Starting May 1st, they're adding 5 extra minutes to boarding time across all flights. Sounds minor, right? But here's the kicker. This could seriously improve your boarding experience. Yes, you heard that right. Boarding could get better. You know how it goes. The mad dash to get on the plane, people shoving their bags into overhead bins like it's a game of Tetris. The chaos, the confusion, the screaming kids. We all know how that goes. But American Airlines is taking a step toward a less crazy experience by spacing out boarding groups. The goal? To reduce gate congestion and the number of people who have to gate check their carry-ons. Will it work? Well, only time will tell. But hey, at least now you have a heads up that things are about to get a little more organized at the gate. Number 4. The third bag hack. Don't tell the airlines. Now, let's talk about the third bag. Yes, you heard that right. And no, I'm not talking about a giant suitcase. Most airlines allow 1 carry-on and 1 personal item. But did you know that TSA doesn't care how many bags you bring through security? It's true. The limit is set by the airline, not security. So, technically, you can bring more than 2 bags if you're willing to play it a little smart. Here's the hack. You can sneak in a third bag, like a small sling bag or mini backpack, through security. I know, it sounds like I'm breaking the rules, but hear me out. Once you're through security and you're about to board, here's the key move. Stow your third bag inside your personal item before boarding. This works especially well with a crossbody or small backpack. Tip: this trick works best if you're traveling with a non-intrusive bag. Leave the extra suitcase at home. This is just for your small essentials. Number 5. Dial a pilot, your new in-flight therapist for flight anxiety. So, flying makes you nervous? Turbulence freaks you out? Or maybe you've got questions about why that plane you're about to board looks like it was designed by the same guy who built your high school science project. Dial a Pilot is here to help, and it's exactly what it sounds like. For a small fee, you can book a 15-minute chat with a real US-based pilot who will answer your burning questions about flying. Seriously, how cool is that? Worried about turbulence? Don't sweat it. Turbulence is like a pothole in the sky, they'll say. Curious about why your flight feels like it's riding on a bumpy roller coaster? They'll break it down in a way that'll make you feel like a flying expert. Pro tip: if flying gives you serious anxiety, book a session before your flight. A little knowledge can go a long way in calming those nerves. Number 6. Cancel for any reason travel insurance, because life happens. Let's be honest. Sometimes life just throws a wrench in your travel plans. You're packed, you're ready to go, and then, plot twist, your dog gets sick, your kid gets a last-minute school project, or the weather turns into a literal disaster. Enter cancel for any reason insurance. This is your golden ticket to peace of mind when the unexpected happens. Unlike traditional travel insurance, which only covers cancellations for specific reasons, like, a serious illness or family emergency, this type of insurance lets you cancel for literally any reason. Don't want to go because your favorite show is airing the night you're supposed to fly? Pro tip: check the fine print. Not all policies are the same, so make sure it actually covers what you want before you pull the trigger. Number 7. Lounge access, the secret weapon during delays. We've all been there. Your flight's delayed, the customer service line is a mess, and you're staring at a clock that just won't budge. Well, guess what? Lounge access might just be your VIP ticket to surviving airport chaos with a smile, and maybe a free cocktail if you're lucky. Here's the deal. Airline lounges aren't just for first-class passengers anymore. You can score lounge access through credit card perks, which means you could be sipping on free drinks, snacking like a boss, and recharging in comfort while the rest of the crowd fights for their life at the gate. I personally swear by my Chase Sapphire Reserve card for getting me into lounges. Pro tip: if you're not sure where the lounge is, ask any gate agent. They'll usually point you in the right direction, and trust me, it's like finding a hidden gem in the airport. Number 8. Flight tracking like a pro with FlightAware. You know that feeling when you're waiting for your flight and the status board hasn't changed in what feels like forever? You have no idea when your plane is actually going to land, and you're just guessing when to start heading to the gate. Well, guess no more. Thanks to FlightAware, you can track your plane in real time, even before it arrives at your airport. Simply punch in your flight number, and boom, you'll know if your plane is coming early, late, or if it's still circling the sky for an extra 30 minutes. This is an absolute lifesaver, especially during those massive delays, or if you're trying to sync up your schedule with your ride home. If you know your plane's stuck in some far-off city, you can adjust your plans accordingly. Plus, when you're ahead of the airline's announcements, you can stroll into the terminal like a pro, looking way cooler than everyone else frantically checking their phone every 5 minutes. Pro tip: you can even use FlightAware to track your plane during the flight. Not only does it keep you updated, but you can check out how much longer you have before you're on the ground. It's like your own personal flight radar. Number 9. Portable seat cushions, because airplane seats are not your friend. We've all had that unforgettable moment when you sit down in your airplane seat expecting to get comfy, only to realize the seat is harder than a rock. It's like they built the seat with zero consideration for human comfort. Well, there's a life-saving hack you'll want to know about: portable seat cushions. A subscriber recently shared this genius tip with me, and I'm honestly shocked I didn't think of it earlier. You can bring a small gel-filled cushion that sits perfectly on your seat to make those long-haul flights a whole lot better. It's like bringing your own personal throne on the plane. Your back will thank you, and you'll be the envy of everyone around you who's trying to survive the unforgiving airplane seat. Pro tip: make sure your cushion is travel-friendly and easy to stow away when you need to. You don't want to be that person trying to juggle a massive pillow as your fellow passengers look on in judgment. I've linked a really good portable seat cushion in the description below. I think you'll like it. 10. Hydration hacks. Beat the post-flight dryness. Let's face it, planes are dry. You step off the plane and feel like you've just spent the last 6 hours in a desert. So, here's a pro tip to keep you feeling hydrated and fresh. Bring your own electrolyte powder. That's right, throw some electrolytes in your water bottle before you even board. It'll keep you from feeling like a dried-up raisin when you land. Bonus tip: pack a sunscreen glow stick. It's SPF 50 and requires no rubbing, making it perfect for the germy airplane environment. Hydrated skin, no wrinkles, and you can show up at your destination looking like $1,000,000. Or at least like someone who doesn't hate their life after a long flight. I've also linked some great sunscreen glow sticks and other items I think will really help you with your flights and travel in the description below. I think you'll find them super useful. There you have it, the surprising airline rule changes and new travel tips you'll need for 2025. Now, before you head off to your next flight, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if any of these hacks made you go, "Why didn't I know that sooner?" And if you've got any secret travel hacks of your own, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you've been doing to survive airport life. Remember to like, subscribe, and click that bell so you're always in the know on the latest and greatest travel tips. Safe travels, and I'll see you at the gate. Maybe even in the lounge.